Your phone. PCACAC. And now we're going to turn it over to Hood College.
Thank you, Chelsea. So talk a little bit about Hood College. All right. So Hood College was founded in 1893 as an all-women's institution located in downtown Frederick. We have lots of traditions, lots of really cool things that everybody is going to find something different when they come to campus. We are your typical small private liberal arts college located in bustling second largest city in the state of Maryland. And we have about 1,200 undergraduate students that make up our class. And we have something for a little bit of something for everybody. The small class sizes, you get to know your professors, they're coming to your sports games, coming to your jobs and everything else in between, supporting you during your clubs. And we come from all over. As one of the most diverse private colleges in the state of Maryland, we offer something for everyone to learn a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the world around you. Average class size is about 15 students. So you really do get to know your professors. You get to know the person sitting next to you in the classrooms. And then you also get to choose from over 32 majors and over 40 minors to really round out your educational career. We have all these different things that you don't have to declare your major until the end of your sophomore year. So you have some time to kind of figure out what you want to do, as well as explore all the different subject areas around you. Campus, like I said, is located in downtown Frederick. We are 50 acres, but it doesn't feel like you're on top of each other. The campus is split into 3 different sections. You have your academic and administrative section of campus, where all your classes are going to be. You have your residential section of campus that we have 6 residence halls, 5 of which are traditional style. 1 is upperclassmen suite and semi-suite style. And of our 5 traditional residence halls, we're going to be renovating 1 every other year for the next 10 years. So you'll have some time to figure out the new residence halls, get to be in brand new buildings, which is really nice. And the 3rd section of campus is your athletic section of campus. We boast over 20 athletic programs to choose from. But then the surrounding campus, where the red arrows, it's pointing towards the downtown area where everything is locally owned and operated, with the exception of a Starbucks. Starbucks can do good anywhere, so you have that. But there's tons of different coffee shops. There's good hiking. And within 10 minutes of campus, you have your big box stores such as Target or Walmart, a mall, and everything else in between. Campus is also located right next to Frederick Health Hospital. So for those interested in that as a career, we have great opportunities there. And would be remiss to say that our top 5 majors are going to be business, nursing, psychology, biology, and law and criminal justice. But we still have a lot of offerings otherwise. You want to get involved in clubs and activities, that's awesome. There's something for everyone there. We also have like I said, 23 athletic sports. Our newest one being women's ice hockey, starting in the fall of 2024, bringing that to campus. Our men's basketball team just won conference championships last year, and this year our men's golf team won the conference championship. So if you want to do something that you love for another couple of years and play at the Division III level, that's something definitely to check out when it comes down to it. For those who are interested in applying to Hood, there's a lot going on. All we ask for is your application and transcript. Now you'll notice we're test optional. We're also even essay optional. But the more that you include in your application to Hood, the essay, or if you come to campus for an interview, maybe you submit a letter of recommendation, or maybe you submit a resume. All of that is going to be helpful when we look at your application and also determine a scholarship. So 100% of our students who receive merit from us will come to Hood if you're accepted. And on top of that, you can see on the right-hand side here, our average costs. We are an expensive school. It's a Division III, or I'm sorry, it's a private institution. However, nobody ever pays the full amount, and we offer generous and very competitive financial aid packages. So the more, like I said, the more that you include, the better it is. And we want you to come to campus. We want you to come check it out and see what's going on so that all of you can find your perfect fit and find out what's best for you. That is the end of that. I want to give you a quick synopsis and make sure that we're definitely under time. Contact information there. Chelsea, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Wonderful, thank you. Are you able to hear me okay?
Yes.
Wonderful. All right. Thanks so much. All right, University of Mary Washington is next up.
Great, thanks so much. Let's get this screen shared and we'll be off and running. All right, so yes, University of Mary Washington. My name is Jamie. I'm an alumni of the University of Mary Washington and excited to talk to you guys tonight about the institution. We have a undergraduate population of a little over 4,000 students. To me, that's one of the really unique features of the university because it's one of those places that's not too big, not too small. You know a lot of people, but you don't know everybody. You can wear a lot of different hats, but you also don't get overwhelmed with the amount of things that are going on campus. I think that that size is really interesting and really unique for our institution. We're located in Fredericksburg, Virginia, so right in between Washington, D.C. and Richmond, Virginia. And that really promotes the idea of experiential learning. So a big part of our curriculum, our programming is to have students get outside of the classroom, to take the things that they've learned inside the classroom and then apply them within the real world. There's a train station right downtown, so walkable from campus, and we have numerous students every semester that will go to DC or go to Richmond a couple of days a week. Obviously internships as well as co-op programming, also within the Fredericksburg community. So being able to have access to those types of things, I think, is a huge asset for our students and enables us to allow students to build their resume in ways that other institutions may not be able to provide. So we have kind of the best of both worlds in a lot of ways, where we have a small college town, but then have access to two major metropolitan cities. We are a state institution, so we're a Virginia state school. So you can see our in-state and out-of-state tuition. We do offer scholarships for in-state and out-of-state students based on your application, your transcript, your test scores, things like that. And we try to offer as much as possible to make that as affordable as possible for all of our students. We have about a 13-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and I think that that's a big part of what our community is based around. It's engaging directly with your professors, it's engaging with your peers, open dialogue, open discussion, really challenging you to think critically about the world around you and be innovative within the things that you do. Our average class size is 19. You'll have some classes early on in college that might be a little bit larger, like a introduction to biology or something like that. That class might be more like 50 students, but you generally are going to have labs that are going to break off and enable you to work in smaller groups, regardless of the class size. As you move up in your major, you're going to have more focus groups and smaller classes that could be as big as 6 or 7, but typically right around that 18 to 22 number. Research is a big part of our undergraduate experience. So we really encourage students to engage in undergraduate research, to be able to think critically again about the world around them, to utilize an interdisciplinary lens. We also offer a create your own major program. So some of our more popular majors are business, psychology, computer science, really anything STEM related. But we also have a lot of students who utilize the create your own major program, which allows students to find interdisciplinary connections amongst some of their areas of interest. So to be able to say, you know, I'm interested in computer science, but I also have an interest in business, and being able to merge those types of things, I think, is a really unique aspect of our programming. We also have a historic preservation major, which is one of the top historic preservation majors in the country. So we have a lot of students who find us based off of that. So really the idea of kind of getting outside the classroom, building your understanding of how those academics that you're learning in the classroom are going to be utilized within the real world is a critical part to our programming. We have more than 150 different clubs and organizations. We have a bustling campus community. Freshmen are, the vast majority of freshmen are required to live on campus, only if you live within 20 miles of campus. So about 95% of freshmen do live on campus. We do offer housing all 4 years, 150 different clubs and organizations across campus. And we are a Division III school that's been typically right in the top 25 for the vast majority of our athletic programming. So we have about 213 conference championships over the years. And so athletics is certainly a big part of our campus culture and community. And there's a lot of school spirit for that, to be able to go out to the lacrosse games and the soccer games and swim meets and things of that nature. Study abroad is a big part of our programming. Again, kind of that idea of take the things that you're learning and then bring them into the real world. So we have 135 different study abroad programs. We have programs that are directly affiliated with us. We also have partnership programming. So students are able to really explore anywhere that they may be interested. And so I think that allows students another kind of perspective and opportunity to engage in their areas of interest and learn more about the world around them. From an application standpoint, we are a test optional school, so you do not need to submit your testing. We do require transcripts, and we require the actual application. And so once those are submitted, you'll also hear more information about interviews and essays and all of those types of things. Our honors program does require essays for the main college essay, and then we also have an honors program essay. So if you're interested in applying into the honors program, I would certainly encourage you to take a look at that. That's going to offer you an opportunity to have smaller class sizes, work directly with professors earlier on in your undergraduate experience, conduct research earlier on, be able to choose courses earlier on in the process. There's also first year seminars for students within the honors program. So it allows students a little bit more of a tight-knit community with an enhanced academic aspect of it as well. So yeah, super excited to have you guys learn more about us, and you can see all of our contact information there.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Next up is Stevenson University.
All right, thank you very much, Chelsea. I'm gonna get my screen shared, get started. All right, thank you everyone for being here tonight. I'm with Stevenson University, and we're based out of Owings Mills, Maryland, about 10 miles north of Baltimore. So as you look here, we have a bunch of quick facts. We are conveniently located about 60 minutes from DC, and like I said, about 10 or 15 miles away from Baltimore. So really stick out in that greater metropolitan area. Becomes a really good resource and asset when it comes to looking for internships later down the road. We're ranked number 7th in the country for our freshman suites. They're super impressive. They're very spacious and very clean. They also include things like your laundry, your parking. We also include a microwave and mini fridge in every suite. Anyone that's interested in continuing their education beyond Stevenson, possibly wanting to become a physical therapist, a dentist, a doctor, maybe even a lawyer, we certainly help bridge to that next phase of schooling. So we can certainly be very helpful in that respect. We have a very small class size of about 17 students average per class. And then we also have a lot of different clubs and organizations, as well as some bachelor's to master's options. As we look a little bit closer to some of our academic programs, we're housed through 6 different schools. I'll go ahead and just name some of our biggest majors. Business administration has a few different tracks for students to go through, such as finance, international business, even sport management. Our nursing program through our Berman School of Nursing is a direct entry nursing program, which students love to hear because they're not competing for a spot in a cohort or anything to that effect. Once you apply and you're accepted into our nursing program, you are there and you are through for your 4 years. We also have a School for Humanities and Social Sciences, which feature some of our big majors like criminal justice and psychology. Criminal justice has a lot of those options for bachelor's to master's, so students end up getting 2 degrees within 5 years through that process. So it's very, very convenient in an aspect and also very cost efficient because everything is done online. For our School of Sciences, we have a lot of general sciences and really specialized strong in environmental science and a newly housed major known as biomedical engineering. We also have a School of Design, which has multiple different sort of majors, including fashion design, film and moving image. So some unique different majors there. And then our School of Education holding everything excluding secondary education. I did talk lightly about student life, but just to go into a little bit more detail, we do have about 80 different clubs and organizations that vary between diversity clubs, governance clubs, cultural clubs, and also, special interest kind of clubs. So really, if you don't see a club there, it's very easy to make one. All you have to do is find some other people with the same interest and collaborate with our SGA office. And before you know it, you're up and running your own club. We also have a lot of traditions like our homecoming and food trucks. We also have an involvement fair for students to check out all the different clubs and organizations so you can see what they do, who they serve. Is this kind of the people that you would find yourself involving yourself with on campus. We also have a lot of different athletics. We have 29 different Division III teams, plus club and intramural sports. So if you want to be a little bit more lackadaisical, but also participate in athletics, there are some options there for you. This is an aerial view of our campus map. We've extended a lot throughout the course of the last year or so. Owings Mills East is very, very new to us. We were able to acquire that land adjacent to our campus and able to implement some athletic fields, a lot of space and a lot of fields that we weren't able to originally house before. So we were very excited about that. Towards the back is what you would see is our main or south campus, and we have our residence halls back there, as well as some administrative buildings and our Brown School of Business and Leadership, as well as our Mustang Stadium, which is right at our entryway. You'll cross through our Dell Family Pathway and it'll get yourself to our northern campus where our Manning Academic Center is held, which houses our School of Education, our School of Sciences, and School of Nursing, and then our School of Design is just north of that. And then on that campus, we're also in the process of getting a Philip Zaffrey library. We have definitely updated a lot since the picture that you see here. That building is set to launch for this upcoming fall. We are very excited about that. When it comes to application materials, we look for 3 major things. We look for the application, and then we also look for your essay, and then we also include a short response, just a 100-word excerpt on why Stevenson would be a good fit. And then the last thing would be for you to acquire your high school transcript and submit that over to us. Optional materials include letters of recommendation, and then we are test optional as well in terms of standardized testing. After we gain all those admission materials, we immediately start looking for scholarships. So we'll start with the merit-based scholarship consideration, which ranges anywhere from $10,000 to $21,000 per year, and that does renew over the 4 years. And then over to my right, you'll also see a lot of different scholarship opportunities. Some require applications, some do not. So I encourage you all to take a deeper look into that as time goes along, and I would certainly answer more specific questions about any of these programs later. This is just a rough deadline of some of our scholarship applications, as well as general financial aid consideration, general scholarship consideration, which does include merit-based. And then, of course, we feature the enrollment deadline, which is May 1, where we hope that you have made your decision one way or another. This is our contact information in case you need to get in touch with our admissions or financial aid office. And thank you all so much for your time this evening.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, Hollins University is up next.
Thank you, Chelsea. Alrighty, everybody. My name is Alexia Buckner, and I am in the Hollins University Office of Admissions. So located in Roanoke, Virginia, Hollins University was founded in 1842, and it's the oldest women's college in Virginia and home to about 800 students. Hollins students are encouraged to explore their own unique interests through the liberal arts and the 29 different majors that we offer. With an average class size of 12, our students are supported through close relationships through professors as well as their advisors in a very collaborative environment. And in addition to academics, our Division III athletics programs compete in the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. If you are an athlete and you're curious to know more about our teams and recruiting process, you're more than welcome to reach out to us directly through our website. Despite our small size, we do value being a diverse community where all identities and perspectives are not only welcome, but they are celebrated. About a third of our students identify as students of color and or Hispanic or Latinx, and our community embraces students for who they are. And we strive to make Hollins feel like home for everybody. With students at Hollins, they do have an opportunity to join one of almost 30 clubs and student-ran organizations. Participating in these clubs and organizations do help students find a community of others who share their interests, as well as their similar identities. And it also gives them access to leadership roles and experiences as they host various activities and events on campus. If students don't see a club that represents their interests, they are encouraged to create their own by gathering members and proposing their new club ideas at our student government's weekly Senate meetings. Student government is also a huge part of the Hollins life. Our SGA's mission is to advocate for the student body and improve the community through active participation as well as active leadership. All of our students are members of SGA, and with more than 80 elected positions, anyone can be an active leader on campus. SGA welcomes students with various interests, talents, goals, artistic backgrounds, just to become new leaders on the executive, judicial, or even event planning boards. SGA's weekly Senate meetings also help strengthen our community. It brings together the student government leaders, any and all students on campus, sometimes even faculty and staff, to review events, make announcements, and even discuss student concerns. In addition to in-class academic support, Hollins does encourage students to take their learning beyond the classroom, and that is through our Rutherford Center for Experiential Learning. This place ensures that students have access to hands-on learning through study abroad, individual research, internships, leadership, community engagement, whatever you have. 91% of our Hollins students do take advantage of these opportunities, and access to these programs is guaranteed for every single student that is interested. If Hollins does sound like a good fit for you, there is a little bit about our application process. You can apply through the Common App, or you can use our application, which is on our website, hollins.edu. Either way, it's a free application. So the only thing that we have as far as requirements go is a high school transcript and a secondary school report or letter of recommendation. Test scores are optional for us. And when we say optional, we 100% mean optional. You will be considered for admission and scholarships, whether or not you choose to submit your SOARs. To give you an idea of where our students fell in this past year's incoming class, the average GPA was about 3.8, and the average SAT and ACT scores were about 1190 and 25. But just remember that this is an average, and our review approach is truly holistic. We put a lot of things into consideration, like your essay, your extracurriculars, letter of recommendation, all of your demonstrated interests, whatever is true to you and your nature and your background. We do try and strive to get to know the students personally through a very holistic review process, and that puts a lot of comfort and agency to our students that are applying. After you submit those materials, you will receive a decision within 2 weeks, so it's nice to get that information soon. Hollins is committed to making our high quality liberal arts education affordable and accessible, and this commitment does include a $24,000 per year scholarship for all of our admitted students. You'll see that our average aid award this past year falls just under $37,000, so that continues to showcase that accessibility and our commitment to making sure that everyone gets access to a private college education. If you want to know more about Hollins, we'd love to see you at an in-person event or even a virtual event. We're hosting things like student panels, workshops, information sessions on many various topics. You're more than welcome to check out our website or reach out directly to us counselors if you want to sign up or know more about those events. I hope you found this information really helpful in learning more about Hollins. We'd be happy to have you have a visit on campus. You can sign up on our website, and we also do visit grants as well. So visiting earns students a visit grant of about $1,000 towards their financial aid package. If you have any questions or are curious to learn more, feel free to use any of the contact information that's on the screen, and we'll be so happy to help. Thank you all so much.
So thank you. All right, Morgan State University is up next.
All right, hello everyone. Give me 1 second, just sharing my screen. All right, welcome to Morgan State University, where we grow the future and lead the world. My name is Willan August, and I'm one of the admission officers here at Morgan State University, also an alumni. Here at Morgan, we were founded in 1867 as the Center Biblical Institute. We are a Carnegie classified Art II institution, and we have over 150 different academic programs that we offer. We are located in Baltimore, Maryland, and we have about 9,000 students, including undergraduate and graduate students, with students from all over the United States and all over the world. Looking by these numbers, these are what we are ranked amongst HBCUs. So we're number 1 for Fulbright scholars, number 1 in civil engineering, number 1 in construction management, number 1 in multi-platform production, number 2 in architecture, number 2 in screenwriting and animation, and number 2 in hospitality and management. Here you can find our different schools and colleges. We actually have 8 schools and 2 colleges. So every major will fall under one of these school or college. Some of our top majors include business administration and management, civil engineering, psychology, biology, and computer information sciences. If you want a full list of some of our programs that we offer, go ahead and scan this QR code and you will find all of that online. We have various traditions and spirits here at Morgan State University. Once you become a student, from your first time stepping foot on campus for your orientation, we have our candle walk that we participate in along with our president, all the way until you graduate. There are different traditions that you can partake in. Once students graduate from Morgan State University, these are our most frequent employers. Every semester, we actually host job and scholarship fairs, and most of these, if not all of these, organizations plus more come out looking to hire students for internships, and that can lead to potential jobs. For example, when I was a student on campus, one of my close friends actually got a full-time internship. Well, started off as an internship our junior year, that turned into a full-time position, starting off making 6 figures working for Google. So the possibilities are there. You just have to take those opportunities and go out for those chances, you know, and make use of those opportunities that are given at Morgan State University. When it's time to apply, we have 3 ways you can apply. Online at morgan.edu/apply. We are also on the Common App and the CBCA, the Black Common applications. All we need is your official application, official transcript. We are test optional, but you must state that on the application. It will ask you, do you want to apply test optional? Depending on how you answer that question, you will determine if you apply test optional or not. All right, and of course your application fee, unless you have a fee waiver code. Some of the application deadlines, which can also be found online as well. Early action deadline is December 1st, notified by February 15th. Regular decision is February 15th, notified by April 1st, and enrollment confirmation May 1st. All applicants are considered for scholarships at the time of the time that you apply. If you want the full list of our scholarships, grants, and aid that we offer at Morgan State University, feel free to scan this QR code and you'll find more information on that. I'll also like to mention that Morgan State University has an honors program, the Clara I. Adams Honors Program, where we actually give partial to full scholarships to students. You need at least a 3.8 GPA to apply to that program coming as a freshman. Now, you can always apply throughout your matriculation as long as you maintain and have that GPA. All right, and if you would like to join us for a campus tour, go ahead and scan this QR code. Over the summer, we are operating as self-guided, and all that information can be found online. All right, and this is my information if you need to contact me directly, or if you want to just send a general email to our office, you can reach us at admissions@morgan.edu or me directly at willann.august@morgan.edu. And thank you guys so much.
Awesome, thank you. All right, and we have Penn State next.
Second, and let me retry to share this. I was frozen for a minute. Okay, good. I hope everybody can see. It says I'm sharing. My name is Brett Hoffman from Penn State, and I'm the Mid-Atlantic recruiter for the university. So, working the Potomac region as well. And so a couple of things that we can talk about at Penn State in a quick format. Penn State is known as a vibrant, full of opportunities institution that is diverse and welcoming of all backgrounds and all lifestyles as well, and celebrated, of course, as well, with many, many, many student groups to support all of our students. That comes out at the university too. So one of the slogans we use when we do talk about diversity and inclusion at Penn State is all in, and that we are all in at Penn State. And as you can tell, the selection of the different colors and rainbows in our student body there. We also want you to know about a little bit about us as well too, a very high graduation rate, what you expect from a top public school, in the matching kind of retention rate that goes above that. The graduation rate is about 25 points higher than the national average. Every major at Penn State does offer a study abroad opportunity, as well as many cultural experiences. We do over $1 billion worth of research each year. Even though we're arguably the largest East Coast college or university, we have a student to faculty ratio of what you'd expect from a more medium-sized school that comes through too. And then in the world university rankings, we're also ranked in the top 1% of all schools in the world. And to match those programs, our undergraduate offerings is we have 275 different majors that we do offer, and then also 180 different minors that students can choose from 12 different overall academic areas that range the spectrum that only your imagination can limit you. It comes through. Penn State is made up of 20 different campuses. A lot of people that are coming from out of state do not realize that. We're not just one large place. We do, of course, have our large campus at University Park and State College, also known as Happy Valley. But we do have 19 other Commonwealth campuses. And you'll note from the map overall, Penn State, the housing markers, we have 14 campuses that do offer housing at the university, and then about 6 campuses that are more you kind of term as a commuter campus at the university too. So a quick look at our timeline too. It's our student aid and award notifications for scholarships that comes in. So when you apply to Penn State, it'll be available starting August 1st this fall and every year thereafter. We do recommend everyone apply early action at Penn State after that rolling admission does start. You will have a decision if you apply November 1st early action by the holiday break in December. The FAFSA this year will open in December. We recommend that students with us submit by February 15th of the FAFSA, and you will have your complete aid package at some point, a little bit later in the spring due to that timing. that comes in. So a little bit online application. Most students are using the Common App. Nearly 90% of our applicants are. We are test optional, as you heard from many of those schools. One unique thing that we have in common with maybe just over a little bit over 100 other schools in the U.S., traditionally larger schools, is the SHRAR, the self-reported academic record. So we do not use high school transcripts. We don't take them. You will enter into an application form, a second part of the application, your own grades that come in. And one thing to talk about with our Commonwealth campuses is we do offer to every resident of the following states, and this is going to cover most of our audience here, of Delaware, West Virginia, Maryland, Washington, D.C., and also Virginia. And we do offer what's called the Discover Award. So if you do attend one of our 19 Commonwealth campuses, you will be starting your scholarship package with a $6,000 renewable scholarship every year you're at that campus. It does say submit a FAFSA. It's not required for this program. That's just an encouragement so that we can look at you for other funding as well too. This is our overall out-of-state cost for students. And so when you do look at our overall costs at University Park, you can see there that we do at the Commonwealth campuses offer significant, anywhere from $12,000 to $15,000 discount, depending on the campus that you choose. That Discover Award is another $6,000 off this number for those students that are in our residential area here. And so that brings this down another 6,000 to, what is that, 17,000 down to 22. So we're trying to obviously give you a Penn State in-state sort of cost for being in the same region. It kind of comes in. So I do thank you for your time. Once again, I'm Brett Hoffman, and then here is my contact information if you want more information on any subject, including visits and our open house schedules, or just general questions for the coming year. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. At this point, everybody has shared their information. So I'd like to welcome everybody back on screen so we can hear from you all one more time. I am going to pose a question or two depending on time, and we will see kind of how that goes. So what advice would you give someone going through the search process? And we'll go back up to Hood College to start.
Sure. So the biggest advice is I tell all students is to explore your options. If you think you want a big school, make sure you go and check out small schools. If you want a small school, make sure you go check out those big schools. And I think having that variety is important to finding that perfect fit.
Thank you. University of Mary Washington, what is your advice?
Yeah, I think, I mean, to me, the biggest thing is to understand who you are as a student, who you are as a learner, and try to identify programs that make sense for you, and not just that, you'd be successful in, but environments that you're going to thrive in. Prestige plays a role in this process, but I think it's much more important to focus on what are the types of opportunities and programs that are going to be available for me and that are going to put me in the best position possible by the time that my 4 years is over.
Awesome. Thank you. Stevenson University, what is your advice?
For me, my advice would just to be continue to look for scholarships and look for them as early as possible. Affordability becomes more and more of a thing every year, and it's just important to have a plan to pay for college financially and just be prepared for all that stuff. So the sooner you get after looking for scholarships, looking into the opportunities that some of your lead schools might have, the better off you'll be, and the more you'll be thinking yourself around this time next year.
Awesome. Thank you. Hollins University?
If you are a little bit nervous about the college transition, I definitely recommend trying to find pieces of home in the schools that you're looking at. So definitely if you're in the chess club or if you're in the anime club, see if there are some other schools and organizations that offer similar things. So that way you already have an identity or an affinity group that's just waiting for you as soon as you get on campus.
Great. Thank you. Morgan State University, what is your advice?
Yes, so I agree with everything that everyone said. So just to add to that, I would definitely advise that you guys go out and actually visit these campuses so you can actually see yourself living there and staying there, especially if you're planning on attending these universities for 4 years. You want to fill out home, or you want to find a piece of home, like Alexia mentioned.
Awesome.
And then
Thank you,
I've got the lucky task of going last to add into everyone else's comments. So great comments as well. And just a tip that we see many students successful with is that you're going to be applying to a number of different colleges, and even here among us, the group here, we're all going to have different things that might be required, different deadlines. Different things. So, start a spreadsheet, start a journal, where you can list each one of us and then put all the deadlines, with the deadline for scholarships, you heard for some of that, deadline for admission, other things that might do. So, that would be one recommendation. It's kind of a nuts and bolts type thing, but everybody else took all the other good ones. So.
Yeah, all really great pieces of advice. Thank you for sharing. It looks like we have time for another question. So what is one thing that you want students to remember about your school specifically? And we'll go back up to Hood College.
I think that I would like students to know that we are a family. I think you're going to hear that throughout a lot of, conversations, but where we are located, within an hour of DC, an hour of Baltimore, half hour Gettysburg, our prime location really gives you that big town feel, but in a small community, to really create that sense of home.
Awesome. Thank you. University of Mary Washington.
Yeah, I would say the opportunity to explore your interests from an experiential standpoint. So taking the things that you learn inside the classroom and being able to engage them in the real world. I mean, the direction of higher education in general is one of, what have you done while you're in college, not necessarily where did you go to college. And so for us, a big part of what we try to do is encourage students to take the things that they've learned and apply them within the real world.
Thank you. Stevenson University.
So the two things that I would want everyone to remember about us is that our community aspect and our career aspect are the two biggest things about us. We just have a very welcoming and opening community that brings everybody in with open arms. You don't have to try to pretend to be anybody at our school. And then our career aspect, all of our students, our career offices, the faculty and staff do everything they can to help with career connections. Internships are required at our school, or some sort of capstone project or something to that effect. So we do a really good job of getting students to their ideal career and at a very fast rate.
Awesome. Thank you. Hollins University.
I always like to shout out our Student Government Association. And it's very, very abundant on campus. So it's a great opportunity for students who feel like maybe they want to share their voice and feel like their voice is heard and escalate things on a campus-wide narrative. They have the opportunity to do so as early as their freshman year. So being a part of something bigger is something huge at Hollins.
Awesome. Morgan State University.
Yes, I definitely want you guys to know that Morgan State University is a national treasure. Like our campus as a whole is a national treasure. And also we are the first HBCU in about 80 something years that actually is opening their own medical program starting next year. Should definitely look into that.
Awesome. Thank you. Penn State.
Yeah, Penn State, like we said, mentioned before, is made up of a lot of different components, but focusing on our University Park campus, there are a lot of opportunities. In addition to the study abroad opportunities we mentioned, every major at Penn State, all over 275 of those majors, does offer a research component to every student that wants it. We are a top 5 research college and university in the U.S., and so we want students to know the big opportunities that they might have too. And also diversity at Penn State as well. Most people, think about a big land grant school seemingly out in the middle of nowhere. But although we have a city of 48,000 students at our university, we do have our diversity numbers are above 10,000 students at the current time.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right, it looks like it's that time to wrap things up. So I want to send a big thank you to our presenters for putting the time into preparing and sharing this information with us. We really appreciate it. To our participants, thank you for being with us today. There will be a quick 5-question survey link at the end once you log out. So we appreciate any feedback you can provide. This is the last session of the night. So if there was something you missed or want to go back to, all of the recordings will be available at strivescan.com/PCACAC. And it has been a pleasure. Have a great rest of the time and good luck with your search. Bye-bye.